What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back with another review of Sistas. This is season 9, episode 2, and the episode is titled Do No Harm. I have to be completely honest with y'all. When it came to this episode, it was so heavy and so hard to watch. Like, I have been watching this episode in increments, okay? Because of how heavy it is. I am going to try my best with this review, because the matters that happen in this episode are so important to discuss, but also it's just heart-wrenching, you know what I mean? So, one thing that I just want to point out, first of all, the acting this episode, I feel like there were some people who were stronger than others, but I have to give a shout out to Ebony Obsidian, because her role as Karen, my God, she is just doing an amazing job in this moment of this character's life. I have to give a shout out as well to the guy who plays Aaron. I love how nurturing and caring he was towards Karen. Also, Fatima was one of the MVPs this episode. You know what? Let me just get into the review, okay? First things first, we see Zach and Andy. They are trying to get to the hospital, but of course, they're stuck in traffic. They've been in traffic for over an hour, okay? Now, we can see that Zach is super worried. We can also see that the other ladies are in traffic as well. So, they're trying to get to the hospital. Danny is yelling, like, oh my God, this person needs to drive up, drive up. Come to find out, baby, the person is Sabrina. I said, how is that your homegirl and you didn't recognize her car? Girl, be so for real. So then we actually jump on over to Karen. She's at the hospital. Y'all, this is just too much for me. Like, Karen is going through it right now. She just wants her babies to be all right. She's vomiting, and like at one point she's like, oh my gosh, like I wet myself, I'm so sorry. She's thinking that she urinated, but no. Her mom literally pulls up the sheet that's over her, and she's like, oh my gosh, no, you're still bleeding. Y'all, Karen is losing blood, and she's been losing blood since she got there. Like, what is going on? So when Fatima comes in, she sees that, and she's like, oh my gosh, I gotta go try to find some help. Y'all, Fatima was trying to find as much help as she could around that raggedy ass hospital. And I'm pretty sure Fatima's like, why the fuck did I bring her to this raggedy hospital? But I guess it may have been like the closest one. I'm not really sure how they got there. Nonetheless, we see Sabrina. Now, in the beginning, we did see that she was on the phone with Maurice. And they're still talking about the situation that happened with Rich. Y'all, Rich is blowing up her phone. Sir, there's nothing to talk about here. Get off her line. And Maurice is like, you know what? We could go old school. Put me on three-way. I'm just going to be on mute. I said, whoa. I ain't had to do that in years. Probably since like high school. But nonetheless, she's like, I don't have time for that. I need to focus on getting to Karen. And also, she still suspects that there was something going on between Rich and Penelope way before she came into the picture. So Sabrina, she says that, it's time for a change. It's time for her to start over with her life. And here we go, baby. At some point, we are going to meet Sabrina 2.0, and I'm ready for her. I want Sabrina to live her best life, because when I tell you, she has gotten the shortest end of the stick every time. We definitely need a change. Okay? So, next thing you know, we see that Fatima is walking through the hospital. She finds Zach and Andy, and she tells them, like, what's going on with Karen, and how she can't seem to reach, the normal doctor that Karen goes to. And then the one who's supposed to be helping her in this hospital hasn't been around. Like, he's not taking Karen's symptoms serious, and Fatima is really scared for Karen at this point. And at this point, she's looking for the doctor, trying to track him down so that way he can come check on Karen. Now, when Danny arrives, right, unfortunately, she meets the same nurse who was giving Karen and Fatima a hard time earlier, yeah, same lady. And this woman is still catching attitudes, like being rude, being disrespectful. Like, I'm just not understanding why she is so nasty to everybody. So Fatima, she comes over and she's like, okay, well, can you like help me? And she's like, no, because that's not my area. I don't work in that department. Girl, you don't have to be rude about everything. Like, if you're going to give somebody directions of who can help them, you ain't got to be nasty about it. So at this point, you already know Fatima and Danny, they want to knock this girl upside the head a few times. But, I don't think they want to get kicked out of the hospital. And only thing I kept thinking while watching this, like the way Danny and Fatima were reacting and responding, I'm just like, this lady might want to watch it, because in a minute she's going to get knocked into next week like Chantel got knocked out by Jackie on Basketball Wives, okay? Like, lady, tread lightly, okay? Now, according to this nurse, she says that she will page somebody that can help. I don't believe her. I don't think that lady, she paged anybody. Be so for real. And Fatima, she ends up giving Danny all the information about Karen and like her status. And again, she's saying that she is scared for her. And it's like they can't seem to get her any help at this hospital. So Fatima, she finally finds a black nurse. Matter of fact, I think this is the same nurse who helped them earlier, right? So she finds her and she's like, can you please help me? And she's like, yeah, I can help you. Now we get back to Karen's room, and y'all, I can't lie, I just feel like Karen's mama, she don't be doing enough. Like, when we got towards the end of this episode, she was doing a bit better, but I just feel like she was not doing enough for me. Like, lady, you've had a baby before. None of the things that normal people have is happening right now when it comes to Karen. I need for you to, like, show up and show out on the people, okay? If you gotta cuss their ass out, cuss them out. But nonetheless, we gonna roll with how she acted. Andy, she actually pipes up and she has this bright idea that no, we can just go ahead and move her to another hospital. But of course, Karen's mom, Lisa, is like, yeah, that's not going to work because she's not strong enough to, move around like that. So then Fatima comes in with the nurse and she apologized and nobody came in to help Karen. Andy is like, okay, and why is that? So the nurse basically says that they don't treat black people well at this hospital. And Andy, she's still trying to have a conversation. Girl, she needs to check on Karen. Why are we having this conversation right now? That can be put on the back burner. The nurse, she finally, gets to see what's going on with Karen. And Danny ends up walking in as the nurse said that, she needs everybody to leave so that way she can do an examination. And Danny was like, I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Keep in mind, she just got there. Now, y'all, what's crazy to me is that Karen, and this is what I think she said, if my memory serves me right, she said, oh, well, can my sister stay? Sisters with an S. And y'all, guess who skedaddled? Andy. I'm like, wait, I thought she may have wanted you there as well, but I guess not. But in my mind, I said, see, you know what? This is why Andy ain't the baby's godmother. Because y'all know she only made the godmothers be Danny and Sabrina. Andy was never mentioned. I see why. But we're going to go ahead and move on from there. We actually see Aaron and Lisa, they're going to leave out to go get coffee. And before they do that, she ends up telling the nurse, like, if something happens to Karen and the babies, like, this hospital is going to have to pay for it. And she doesn't like how her daughter is being treated. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm glad that you're finally stepping up and saying something. Now, she does tell Andy to take notes because, like, we can clearly see it's about to be a lawsuit for sure. Fatima, she's also there, and she ends up stepping out while Zach stayed in the room at this point. We then see Aaron, Danny, Fatima, and Lisa. They're all sitting outside. Sabrina, she finally shows up and she's like, how are the babies? And Aaron has to tell her that they literally don't know. Like, nobody has any answers when it comes to Karen in this situation. So Fatima, she kind of gives her like the rundown on what has been going on. And when we go back to the room with Karen, like, it's crazy because literally 5 seconds ago she was up. And I guess this was to show the time had passed. She's like resting. And we see Zach having a conversation with Andy where he's basically saying how, he's never seen her like this. And on top of that, this man said, well, maybe I should have came to the hospital with some balloons and like a push gift. Sir, Aaron already beat you to it. That man already walked through these doors with his Dollar Tree pink balloons. You're late in the game. Now, a push gift would have been nice, but at the same time, that would not have changed the circumstances. Like, I get it, but baby, not in this moment, okay? It's just not right now, Zach. Not right now. So we do see Karen wake up, and she's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I have to vomit. Now, keep in mind, this is the second time that we've seen her have to vomit like this, okay? And here comes the doctor, y'all. Or should I say the asshole of a doctor. He comes in and basically told her to buckle up, Buttercup. I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of doctor are you? And he's like, yeah, it's just going to get worse from here. Like, it's called labor. And it's going to take hard work. Like, the way he is talking to Karen is crazy to me. Absolutely condescending. And I'm surprised that Andy or Zach didn't say anything further than what they did say. But Andy is like, Karen knows her body. She knows that there's something that's wrong. That man is not concerned. He don't give a damn. And he tells them to leave out of the room so that way he can do an examination on her. And y'all, I don't trust that man. I don't trust him. I don't want Karen in that room by herself with him. Absolutely not. So at one point, we can literally see her like screeching out of pain. And he's going to tell her, you got to stop moving. Oh my God. I don't understand how nobody cussed that man out. So Lisa, she comes into the room and the doctor, he's like, oh, well, she's 6 centimeters dilated. And even though there's some bleeding, there's nothing to worry about. Y'all, that man, he got to be fired ASAP. So, I forgot to mention, he also made note that Zach was one of the baby's fathers. Like, okay, she got 2 baby daddies. And what else is going on, sir? That has nothing to do with her labor pains and all these other symptoms that she's having. So Lisa, she's like, you're not listening to my daughter. She's been sick and these symptoms are not normal. I'm like, finally, Lisa, pick it up. Pipe up. Tell this man that he needs to help your damn daughter. So, again, he's going on about how the labor is probably caused because she got 2 different daddies. I need a new doctor. Like, right now, I need a new doctor ASAP. So Karen, she's trying to tell him, like, no, like, I've researched labor. None of this is what I've researched. Like, something is wrong. He's still not listening to her. So Lisa is like, I never went through any of this when I was, having a baby, when I had her, actually. And he's like, oh, well, that's because you're built for childbirth. Karen is petite and ill-equipped for 2 babies. Y'all, when I tell you, I literally had to stop watching the damn show at that point. Because I could not believe the type of things that he was saying as a doctor. Like, I just couldn't believe it. So, as they're going back and forth, Karen is noticing something. She's like, why can't I hear my baby's heartbeat? Like, what's going on with the monitor? The monitor not working. This man gonna say, oh, we need to get a new one in here because this one, it seems to be malfunctioning. Is it malfunctioning or is it really something wrong with her babies? Also, I really need to know that at one point, did she hear 2 heartbeats? Oh my God. This is like, it's breaking me already. Now, according to this man, He says he's going to get some people to come in and help Karen. I don't believe him. We go to see Aaron, who comes in, and he's like talking to Lisa. And Lisa's like, he's not doing enough as a doctor. Now, one thing that he did, he ends up comforting Karen. And y'all, this part right here, beautiful to see, okay? The way he just cared for her, nurtured her, rubbed her face. I mean, it was like watching a gentle giant. Like, while she's going through all of this, and like when he told her if he could take the pain away, he would, baby, I believe him. I believe him. I was like, oh my God. I do like that sweet moment was included in the midst of this madness. Y'all, so we see Lisa. She done stepped out to tell everybody what's going on with this doctor being a piece of shit and how he's still not listening. And Fatima, she ends up seeing another man in a white coat. Again, MVP goes to Fatima because Fatima was going to track somebody down, especially if they was black, to come help Karen. Okay? She find this black doctor and she's telling him all about how Karen is in labor, how Dr. Cruz ain't doing his damn job. And he's like, you know what? I'll take a look at her, right? Baby, one thing about Fatima though, she gonna make sure these people go see Karen, like, right now. Because I don't know if that man thought he was about to go step away and go do another round, go check on some other people. No, sweetheart, you're about to go see Karen right now. You hear me? Because this is the same thing that she did with that black nurse when she found her and was like, my friend is going through it. I need some help. Like, that lady looked like she was trying to go figure out if she could go and do something else. You coming right now. Not on Fatima's watch. So after that, y'all, Dr. Vaughn comes in. He's going over her chart. He's telling the nurse, because at this point the black nurse is in there. He's like, we need to do an ultrasound. And the nurse, y'all, she looks so concerned. Karen is like, I want to see my babies on the monitor. Y'all, it is very clear, very, very clear that something is not right. Something has gone wrong. And Dr. Vaughn's like, you know what? I need to go have a consultation with Dr. Cruz right now. I got to go find him. Y'all, he goes to go find that man. And Dr. Cruz is like, you're only on your 4th year as a resident. I mean, basically downplaying this man's capabilities as a doctor. And then goes on to say that Karen is fine. There's no part of Karen that is fine at this point, besides the fact that she's breathing. Like, are you kidding me? So Sabrina, she happens to overhear what they're talking about. And Sabrina can hear, everything. To where we learn that one of the babies is stillborn. Y'all, we learn that one of the babies is stillborn. And Karen's body is doing all of this as a reaction to losing her baby. And she actually needs an emergency C-section. Y'all, Karen needs an emergency C-section. And Dr. Cruz tells that man, you're overstepping, and says that a C-section is not needed. You can clearly see that her body is in full rejection mode. And this is like outlandish. Like, he literally is saying that Karen needs to push out both of the babies. Like, I just can't. Like, again, at this point, I had to stop watching. Took another break. So, y'all, we get back to the waiting room. And Danny, she's like, where is Michael? Because, baby, those are definitely questions that need answers. And, y'all, we learned that now they are alternating with his aunt. Now, listen. I know that there has been stuff for Zatima, and then it gets intertwined with Sistas, and it all becomes a whole thing, right? Now, listen. We didn't get any of this last season of Sistas. But I do feel like moving forward on Zatima, we better see little Michael and his aunt. Because I don't feel like that is something that y'all should brush over. This right here is a foundation for a good storyline. If y'all really work it how it needs to be worked. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna see what they do with that. because they just might just breeze over it. So here's the thing. Sabrina comes running over, and she's telling the girls everything that happened between the doctors and how Karen could die. So now Danny is like, oh no, I gotta go find some help. Like, we can't have this happen. Andy, delusional. She's like, okay, I got it. We're gonna basically get her transported to another hospital. Y'all, this is where I said some of the actors was lacking. Andy, get it together. Sabrina had to snap her back into reality and be like, girl, the city is a hot mess right now from this blackout. What is not clicking upstairs? Like, girl, what if she dies? And when she said that, y'all, Zach overheard. And, Fatima ends up having to tell him that one of the babies didn't make it. And if they don't operate on Karen soon, she could die as well. Y'all, Zach is breaking down. He's over there crying. You have Fatima trying to console him. And did y'all catch Andy say, Fatima, we need to go talk to Karen? Bitch, are you okay? You see, she's trying to console her man because there's a possibility that it is, number one, his baby that passed away. Number two, this woman who at some point he was in a relationship with could possibly die. Fatima is trying to do her best, being the strong person in the room, trying to console her man and have at least somebody hold it together, okay? Now, while you was doing all that fucking dialing on that phone trying to call Miss Cleo, hoping to get a better answer and trying to get this lady transported, you should have been trying to... Oh, Jesus, let me bring it down. Instead of her being on that phone, tapping all those numbers for no reason, I just feel like, girl, you should have been trying to do something else. You're a divorce attorney, right? You work in a law office with a lot of other people. Who can handle this case? That's what you should have been doing. Figuring out who can handle this goddamn case, Andy Barnes. Because it ain't you, okay? It's not you. Like, give Fatima a fucking minute, okay? And any other time, y'all don't include her in shit. So you and the girls can go talk to her. Let her console Zach. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. That shit pissed me off. Moving on. Y'all, we see Andy and Sabrina. They're just sitting there. And Dr. Vaughn is walking by. And Sabrina is like, listen, I heard your whole conversation about Karen Mott. And he's like, oh, but the HIPAA laws. I said, now, motherfucker. Now we want to talk about HIPAA laws? Baby, that went out the window when y'all were discussing her in that hallway. Okay? Now, he ends up telling them that, there's nothing he can do. The only thing he can do is tell them to tell Karen to get a second opinion. And basically, if he were to try to intervene, he could lose his job. Okay? We're not trying to let the black man lose his job. So then we go over to Karen's room, y'all. Karen is still doing bad. She's in bad shape. And she ends up asking about the babies. And Dr. Vaughn has to tell her that one of the twins died. He had to tell her one of the twins did not make it. Y'all, Karen is having a full breakdown. And Lisa is like, how do you know? And he's like, only one heartbeat was detected. And then he goes on to say how this happened within the last 24 hours. And I just feel like this probably happened when she got in that goddamn hospital. Because I'm just thinking, when we saw her, I think it was like her water had broke, right? And that's why, what's her name? Fatima took her to the hospital. Wait, I can't remember, y'all. Was she bleeding? Or did her water break? Please, somebody refresh my memory. But I thought that was the whole reason why she, hurried up, trying to get her to the hospital. She's like, something's wrong. I just feel like if they would have taken it serious, y'all, there would have been a chance for that baby to make it. There possibly would have been a chance for that baby to make it. But they had her waiting for hours. I just feel like that baby could have been saved. So, y'all, Karen, she's completely broken at this point. Dr. Vaughn is trying to tell her, this isn't your fault. And then he ends up leaving the room. Andy and Sabrina, they come in. Baby, here come Dr. Cruz. I said, oh, I know you fucking lying. Now, he gonna say, How are you doing, Miss Mott? Y'all, I don't even know how Aaron didn't go over there and put hands on that man. So Aaron is like, we know that one of the babies is dead. And Karen, she's like, what are you going to do about it? And baby, that man said women still deliver stillborns all the time. I'm just so taken aback at this point. So they tell him that, no, we want Dr. Vaughn as our doctor because clearly you are not the man for the job. Okay? And he's like, well, I'm the chief of the department. That don't mean shit. You're horrible. So basically Karen had to agree that she wanted Dr. Vaughn as her doctor at this point. Lisa ends up telling him to get the fuck out. And y'all, that man, babe, listen, when I tell you that man will go broke and homeless when I'm done with him. Because he deserves every worst thing possible. Okay? So when he leaves out, he goes over to Dr. Vaughn and says, you've been requested on the Mott case, but just know you haven't heard the end of this. Excuse me? I haven't heard the end? Oh no, baby, you haven't heard the end. Okay? Because your ass is about to be fired. So Fatima and Zach, they're standing by Karen's door and they're told to, go back to the waiting room. And then the nurse ends up booting everybody else out. So the doctor ends up coming in, right? Dr. Vaughn. And he tells her that, her heart rate is low. And he's concerned about doing this whole emergency C-section. So Karen, she ends up booting out Aaron and Lisa. And she only wanted Sabrina and Andy there, right? So Sabrina is like, maybe there's a mistake on the ultrasound. But Karen is like, no, it wasn't. And y'all, Karen, she ends up asking the ladies to make sure that they take care of her baby and take care of her mama. Because at this point, there is a very strong chance that Karen will not make it. And Andy's like, no, you're going to make it. Like, don't even talk like that. But Karen is like, listen, if you have to decide between me or the baby, make sure you choose them. Like, make sure you choose the baby. And y'all, this broke me again. Took a break. Couldn't finish. Keep in mind, I'm so close to the end. But I had to take a break because that broke me. So then I started to think, I'm like, yo, it's so interesting that she's telling the ladies who are just her friends, technically, to choose the babies over her. And I'm like, well, girl, no offense, but that ain't their decision. That's going to be your mama decision. Because I think it goes by next to kid. But we're going to follow the story. So they're still telling her how, she's going to make it through and all of this, y'all. Her heart rates are dropping fast. And y'all, they're yelling for help. And when I tell you it pissed me off because I said, okay, I get it. Y'all don't know what to do. But somebody go run to that fucking door, open it up, and then yell out, we need help in here. Like, what? Oh, Jesus. This episode is so stressful, y'all. So stressful. But I just cannot imagine how there are women who have literally experienced this. Like, literally experienced this. My God. My heart goes out to any woman who has given birth to a child, okay? Because it's a lot. It is a lot. It's not an easy feat. It's not an easy task. And I hope that everyone who is pregnant, they are able to carry their baby to full term. And their baby is healthy and happy. And that they make it as well as the baby. Okay? My goodness. But y'all, let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I know it is so late. But I just literally could not review this when it first came out. Let me know y'all thoughts. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I'll talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.